Are you concerned that AI is going to leave everyone but the most elite and powerful poorer? Okay, so about 100 years ago, in the early 1900s, do you know what the three most wanted items were for Christmas from kids? It was fruit, candy, and nuts. Oftentimes, something like an orange was the one thing a child in America wanted for Christmas. Could you imagine now going to a birthday party or Christmas morning and you'd be giving a gift to someone and they open it up and the 7-year-old looks inside and what do they get? They get a couple of oranges. Could you imagine that? What would happen? I would imagine that if across America everyone gave kids oranges, there would probably be mass chaos and revolt. In the last 100 years, we've become so wealthy that items which were once considered a treat, so special they could only be purchased as a present, now they're just ever present in our homes, in our stores. You can find them literally everywhere. Now, let's look at this from another angle. Now, behind me is a plow that used to belong to my great-great-grandfather. I have friends and family members that are still farmers, and let me tell you, in less than an hour, those people can now plow more ground than my great-great-grandfather could in days. I mean, just look at this thing. You had to have a couple of horses pulling it. You were walking behind. You had a handle sticking up. You're trying to steer the thing. In today's world, that's unheard of in America. Could you imagine also needing to ride horses if you had to get somewhere quickly? I was talking with a fellow several years ago, and he was relaying a story about his grandfather, and his grandfather had some medical problems, and so he'd always have a kid come and hold his stomach while he was riding a horse, because if he didn't, he'd have severe medical issues. So this kid was helping hold his stomach in place while he's riding horses to get somewhere in a hurry. Could you imagine needing to ride a horse somewhere today? In my family growing up and as an adult, we've had a horse or more than one horse on and off for most of my life. But horses have become just a pet. It's like a lawn ornament. So in the last 100 years, how is it that we've been able to move from oranges being treats, a single-sided plow, and riding horses to becoming so wealthy? It's largely because of innovation. When we innovate, work that used to take a lot of time and energy to accomplish now takes a fraction of that time and a fraction of that same energy. So what does this have to do with AI? It has everything to do with it. AI is yet another powerful tool, and it helps us accomplish things that we couldn't imagine accomplishing before. Now, I know one of the first AI engineers that worked for the US government. It's been in development for decades. And back then, the AI wasn't as powerful as it is now, but it's been around in practice and in use clear back from the 80s. So AI is really good at taking large amounts of data and analyzing it and then being able to put out output. And the reason it's gotten so scary in the last few years is because AI went from just doing number analysis and pattern analysis in the numerical world to moving into languages in a bigger way. And with that transition to languages, AI feels more humanistic, and it's moved into that uncanny area where people are scared of it, they don't understand it, they're afraid of what it's going to do. But AI, at its core, is yet another innovation that's going to allow us to do things faster and cheaper and better than before. So, now that we have all this extra time because of AI and the innovations that go along with that, it's going to free us up to yet again tackle bigger problems, solve bigger issues that we before didn't have the energy or bandwidth to do as a society. So if you're concerned that AI is going to make you poorer, think back to your grandparents. Are you better off than your grandparents or your great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents? Do you have the same job as them? Most jobs that existed back then have been automated, and the same thing is going to happen for us. The difficult, hard-to-do labor is going to be accomplished more and more by machines and computers, and it's going to free us up to solve bigger problems, and we're going to become more wealthy. In the next 5, 10, 15 years, the work that we're doing today is going to be radically different than the work that we'll be doing in the next 10, 15, 20 years. But Just as a society over the last 100 years, oranges went from being a precious commodity to being something that are ever present and people don't care about. Things that used to be so expensive, so prohibitive, will become commonplace. Many of the problems we face today will become that of yesterday, and the future will get brighter. Just like a rising tide is going to lift all the ships, AI is yet another tool that is raising the economic level for everyone, and we will, as a society, be far better off because of it than not.